And Gil, I never go on this platform for this reason. First off, my value comes out of my mouth. And the man, all he has is his testicles and his word. Those are only two things that define a man. When you lose one of those, you lose what is defined as your manliness. I said I would never go on this platform. Besides, he's not worthy of me intellectually, historically, or theologically, as far as knowledge and statistically speaking. You know, first and foremost, Gil, you're from the British Honduras, but you want to climb the ladder up and be what you call a conservative. You want to be a baby Joe Rogan. How? When you come from the British Honduras, which was a colony of Britain and the slave colony at that. The first people that were enslaved were the indigenous people. When they saw that wouldn't work, they imported brothers from the continent. So, man, I don't even understand you. So you're a dude who I couldn't even sit in the same room with because I'd have a distaste on what you want to climb up the ladder to become, which is a conservative, a Republican conservative, okay, who don't care nothing about your people. Then another thing, Gil, without my people, civil rights activism and things of that nature, then other minorities in this country wouldn't even have what they have. We did the struggle. We did the fight. Nobody by our sides. Nobody was taking those freedom ride buses down south that spoke Spanish. And it's not taking anything from the Latina community, the Latino community, or the Hispanic community. It's just stating a fact. You know, when they decided they wanted to build a wall at the border, you had black representatives. When they wanted to throw those children in the cages, who'd you have down there? But that doesn't make anyone any better than anyone. It's just that we've always picked up the banner and fought. So when you sit up there and say that, oh, reparations, they don't deserve it. Oh, lift every voice and sing the black national anthem. I'll never go to a football game. And ghetto coons. It doesn't matter what anyone else has said about you. When you utter it out of your mouth, you're complicit in the racism that exists within you. So, Gil, I'll never go nowhere. Man, you put a distaste in my mouth, man. Make me want to spit. And it's not a matter of haterism, as these dudes say. See, that says that these dudes are functioning with single-digit IQs. When anytime a person calls a person up on something, it's, he's a hater. He's a hater. No. Hate the game, don't hate the player. That's how haterism goes. You know, I don't hate that dude. I got a distaste for him. You know, it's no haterism in me. He doesn't have anything that I don't have. I've accomplished so much in 6 weeks to 16 weeks to be tops. And he's been, what, in 60-something odd weeks on YouTube. And I've accomplished far more than he has simply by being me. How can you not see the writing on the wall? I'm doing me. I'm utilizing YouTube as a platform in which it is a stepping stone. That's it. That's all. Now with Dubs, I don't have nothing against him. He appears to be fairly intelligent. His niche is prison and prison stories. Unfortunately, he did a long bid. I've done life on installment plan via foolishness. That's plain and simple. Self-imposed obstacles. And nothing to do with, oh man, they framed me or nothing. It was a lifestyle I chose. He got caught up. So he expounds on his prison experiences. He appears to be intelligent. Yet sometimes he drops lugs that I'll be like, all right, or he shoots lugs at me. Or maybe I'm wrong. I can always stand to be corrected, because any man that thinks he's right all the time is a man who knows nothing about life. You know, it's just like I say, the only time I'm the smartest man in the room is when I'm in the room by myself. But I don't have nothing to say to Dubs. He's no platform for me to go on. Like I said, now Gunners, he's a comedian. I dig it, laughing at him. I would even subscribe to his channel, but I can't support nobody who went to a sensitive need yard. Doesn't matter what they went for. That just takes away all credibility to me from the former lifestyle I come from. You know, I'm not saying he's a tattletale. I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying I can't really support nobody that came from a sensitive need yard and want to get into politics of today's. Mind your own business, stay in your lane, stay the comedian, stay making people laugh, stay with the body, and so forth. That's just how I feel about that, man. Now, that's a personal opinion, but it should be a universal opinion. But it shows how the streets are all polluted now when it's receptive and acceptive of a guy who's on a sensitive knee yard, literally PC. You couldn't cut it. You should have got butchered before you just, oh, knock, knock, let me check in. That's what they call in the feds, checking in. you know, and look at that, that applies to the streets too. But I'm just simply saying, man, I've accomplished in 6 weeks what these guys haven't accomplished in 60 weeks. 16 weeks tops for me. I'm walking red carpets. I've invited to red carpets. That's not braggadocio. That's because people see that I have a valid point that I'm making when I'm speaking. When I'm speaking on what I'm speaking on. Like I said, I've never knocked the culture. I've never said anything disparaging about the culture. I've never pointed out anything, said Mexican, Honduras, Guadalajara, anything of that nature. I'm Puerto Rican. I've never said nothing about Dominican, about the Latin culture or the Hispanic culture. I spoke on sub-chapters that advocate that madness. And my whole point was to bring to the table, to eradicate these pockets and get the collective to tell them, like, man, this ain't cool, man. But here it is, you hate people who you dress like. This is your music, you appropriate the N-word, which I don't think words are value neutral. I think it's a filthy word. But you don't have your OGs or your veteranos, because we the OGs, pulling you up on it. So all I'm simply saying is this, man. I said what I had to say. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. I tried to open up this dude's eyes and say, hey, man, quit allowing people on your platform with all that rhetoric, but it don't work. So on that note, man, it's the hub and the dub when neighborhood love.